why I'm not getting no plays? I said, like, at least make it easier for me. And he was
Yeah.
like, for what? You going out there getting 20 and 10 anyway? So I was like, all right.
Hi, folks. I'm Cooper Moorhead, your host for the After the Buzzer podcast, presented by Baptist Health, the official sports medicine provider of the Miami Heat. We have a great conversation lined up for you with Heat Center Kel'el Ware, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. We are very lucky to be joined by Kel'el Ware. Thank you for joining us. You're going into your second year after a very successful rookie season, all rookie second team, probably should have been first, almost stuck on there, right? But before we get into the Heat, before we get into too much basketball, I would love to hear more about your growing up, your family. And let's start in North Little Rock. I've never been there. I've never even been to Arkansas. So for someone who has not been there before, could you describe North Little Rock and what it's like growing up there?
Growing up in North Little Rock, it's not much to do, but you know what I mean, it's like you said, you ain't been there, so it's a lot of people in this world who haven't been there. But yeah, it's not much to do, but it wasn't bad though. You know, I was surrounded by, you know, good people, you know, good friends. You know, we were always, you know, you outside, you know, riding bikes, you know, you're having fun.
Mhm.
And so yeah, no, I made the most of it. And I mean, I'm here now. I get to live in Miami. So
Yeah. Is there any other NBA city that kind of reminds you of Little Rock at all, or is it just very specific?
nah, I can't say it's another city that reminds me of it.
Yeah.
It's more of like it's just more calm. It's you know, Arkansas is really, you know, it's known as, you know, the natural state. So I
Mhm.
mean, it's I don't know. It's just, well, of course, you know, that's where I grew up. So to me, it feels everything, you know, feels natural. Everything feels like home. So you know,
Yeah.
don't know what the place feel like that.
Literally no place like home sometimes, right?
Yeah, nah.
How often do you go back? Do you go back every summer?
Not every summer, no.
Yeah.
I would probably say before I just went home previously. The last time that I went home was before I went to Oregon.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was the last time I went home because I went to Oregon, then I went to go train, then went to Indiana, went to train, then
Yeah.
my whole NBA life started. So yeah, and I just previously went home after the season. So you know, that was it was great to finally go back, see the same streets, see the
Yeah.
same buildings. It was nice.
Is it different going back as an NBA player? Do people kind of treat you differently at all?
Nah, not really. I mean, I didn't really. I treated it as I treated it as a vacation,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
I had my own little, you know, like a B&B. Obviously, you know, I had my own little place, and I was just I really didn't leave there most of the time. But
Yeah.
it's either I went from there or I went to my parents' house. So it
Mhm.
was I treated it as like a little getaway, you know, just from everything. Just wanted to, you know, be alone for a little bit. So it was nice.
You mentioned your parents. Could you tell us a little bit more about your family? I feel like we don't know that much about them, and then you have siblings as well. As if you
Mhm.
could tell us what your family was like.
Yeah, no. So like I said, growing up, it was me, my mom, my stepdad. I got a younger sister. She just turned 13.
Mhm.
I got a younger brother. He's 20. Then I have an older sister who is 22.
Mhm.
So yeah,
So you were right in the middle.
yeah.
Did things get competitive in that house at all playing games?
No, not at all. It was, I mean, like, well, majority of my lifestyle, you know, it was just me, my older sister, and my younger brother, and then,
Mhm.
you know, later on, you know, my little sister joined us, but
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't really too competitive. We all had our roles, so you
Yeah.
know, it was fun growing up with them as well. You know, I love them to death. So.
When did you start getting into basketball? Do you remember?
Second, third grade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
early. Yeah.
yeah. That's when I started playing for real. So yeah, second, third grade.
Were you tall at that age? Like, was it, we're going to put him, make him play center all the time kind of a deal?
Not as well. I feel like I was kind of blessed growing up because my coach never really just set me at center because
Mhm.
I was playing with the same AAU coach all the way, like from third grade all the way through.
That doesn't
Yeah,
happen all the time
yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
So he was even from like being young and like starting off, he never just stuck me at the center role.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's why I say I was probably, you know, blessed at that, and that's why, you know, some of the skills that I have now is because I was from a kid, you know, growing up, not being stuck in one position. But yeah,
So was that AAU coach? What was his name? Do you want to
Corey
check?
Jones.
Corey Jones.
Yeah,
Would you say he had the most influence over your development, like through high school?
yeah, I would say yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to ask before we move on past your family, it has been confirmed that your name was inspired by Superman,
Yeah.
correct? I feel like some kids might shy away from that, but you seem to kind of embrace that. Like I've met Logans, right? And they are like, oh yeah, my parents named me after Wolverine. And they're not really cool with that. But you seem to be cool with it. Why are you so comfortable with the way?
I mean, well, it's mainly because the way that it's spelled too as well. You know, you have some, you know, I haven't met another, you know, Kel'el whose name is spelled like mine.
Yeah.
At least, you know, someone got the KH. Mine is, you know, KELEL. But Superman's was KALEL.
Right.
So it's, I feel like mine is the only one that's, you know, that's closer. Is closer to, you know, his name. So
I've been wanting to ask that all year about the spelling. So it sounds like it's not just being named after him. It's a name inspired by Superman.
Yeah, inspired by,
right?
Yeah.
So you're getting into high school. When did you start feeling like, I mean, you've always probably been very athletic and tall. You had the basketball, you know, starter kit in a way, but when did you start taking it seriously in a way that you felt like this could be something more?
I would say I kind of always took it serious. Well, you know, I wouldn't say serious. I would say I always played for the fun of it. But then once, I mean, you know, being from Arkansas, it's hard, you know, to get noticed. But I would say once I got like my first offer in 10th grade, that's when I was like, okay, maybe you know, I could do something. Cause like once the first offer came, then, you know, they all started to, you know, follow through after that. So I would say 10th grade is when I actually, you know, locked in and was like, I can do this.
Yeah. Did you guys won state high school your junior year? Is that right?
Oh yeah, junior and senior.
Both years. But after the junior year, and for a lot of people, that's when more offers start to come in. Did you kind of have your pick of a ton of schools from wherever you wanted to go at that point?
I mean, yeah, but like I said, it really wasn't because of high school though. It was mainly because of you know AAU. But so yeah, like I said, I mean, because AAU, you know, you travel, you know, all around
Vegas every summer, and
so you can really go anywhere with AAU. You know, playing any tournaments. You know, coaches come out to watch. You know, during school ball, of course, you know, I mean, coaches can come and like watch practices, but you know, not really many coaches actually, you know, doing that. But so yeah.
What made you want to go to Oregon at first? I'm from Oregon, and I promise the transfer, I don't take it personally at all, but you know, some people, they get to a place and it's just not the right fit, but you thought it was the right fit at first. So what attracted you to it at first?
Well, you know, it was more, well, my main thing was, you know, wanting to get away from Arkansas.
Okay.
So yeah, it was, that played a big part in it. I don't know if I went too far, but yeah, so that was one of the main reasons, just because I wanted to get far away, and also it was, you know what Dana Altman was telling me, you know, when I met with him on my visit, you know, everything, like, I mean, you know, it started off like that at the beginning of the season, and then, you know, it just things happen, you know, went downhill. So, you know, I'm not really mad at the situation, because that situation helped me. It helped me grow, you know, mentally.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you just wanted to experience a different part of the country, right?
Yeah.
And was there an East Coast or West Coast choice, or were you always thinking West Coast at that point?
No, I didn't really have like a, you know, like a place, you know, that I wanted to go. I just wanted to be out of Arkansas, you know, just because like that's where I've been my whole life. And like I said, it's not really, you know, much there or, you know, much to do. So I just wanted to, you know, experience something else.
So how did Indiana come about?
Well, so the big man that was there before me, he had just recently entered, you know, the draft. So, you know, that spot was wide open. And then, you know, you also got Mike Woodson, you know, when he was there, he had a, you know, he has the mindset, you know, of being in the NBA, coaching the NBA.
Yeah.
And, you know, just that, you know, just that experience. And so, you know, I wanted to learn, you know, what all he had to teach me, and then, you know, just, I guess, follow what he could, you know, give me. So
what was he telling you about the NBA and what it was going to require from you?
I mean, it was mainly just the way that he played. You know, he played more like NBA style.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, just like the speed of the game, you know, having to, you know, think quick, react to stuff quick. Well, this is a, how can I say this actually? This is a crazy fact though. My whole Indiana year, I didn't get one play drawn up for me.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't get one play.
Were you asking for plays? Or
No,
just...
no, okay, and this is okay. So I asked this coach Yasir Roseman.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him. I said, why I'm not getting no plays? I said, you like at least make it easier for me. And he was like, for what? You going out there getting 20 and 10 anyway? So I was like, all right.
Math checks out, actually.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I ain't gonna argue. But so that's what that was.
I thought it was pretty cool that Coach Woodson came to Miami when you got drafted. You don't always see that. So it was clear that you guys had a relationship there. But before we move off Indiana, we have some Hoosier alums working for the Heat, and they have all told me I need to ask you if you had a favorite spot to eat on Kirkwood on Ave.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was a wing spot.
Mm-hmm.
It was delicious though. I can't remember. Say one time? Buffalo Louis. Yeah, he got it. Buffalo Louis. Yeah, I haven't had it in so long. Well, I haven't been back in Indiana in so long. But yeah.
What was it? What sauce? What's your go-to sauce in the wings?
Man, see, I can't even remember that. But I just remember Buffalo Louis. It was the spot to go to if you want wings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was good for sure.
It's nothing like wings in college. Well, folks, when I don't know which flavor of wings to order, I always default to lemon pepper. And coming up next, we will talk to Kel'el about what he does to decompress off the court after a long day, after a long game. And then we'll get into a little bit of where he thinks his career can go from here in this episode of the After the Buzzer podcast presented by Baptist Health, the official sports medicine provider of the Miami Heat. When you have a long day, you're doing 2 practices a day, or it's the second night of a back-to-back, and you get home after a long road trip, what do you do once you get home to decompress?
Man, you chill. I might chill for a little bit, have me like a little, something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Either watch TV or I might, get on the game for a little bit and then just chill until the next day. Are
you a 2K guy, or what games do you like?
It just depends. Like, I joined this party, and then the party have at least like 13 people in there. Yeah. So we all just be talking. So it just depends, like what all we want to play. Like I said, there's 13 people in there, so we got enough to do with like 3v3 or 5v5 on 2K.
Yeah.
So we would do that a little. Sometimes we would play Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Or just sometimes it'd be muted, but. Like everybody just be muted, just doing their own thing, but we should still be in the party.
Oh, so you guys you're hanging out, but you're not all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And these are all friends of yours?
Yeah, they are friends of mine. So we like we could literally just be in the party, not saying a thing, but we all be playing like totally separate games.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's nice.
That's a sign of relationships that you've had for a long time when you're cool, just not saying anything, right?
Yeah.
So you get to the draft. Draft night it's a whirlwind for everybody, but did you have expectations or hopes? Like what were you thinking, especially sitting there in the green room as the picks are going?
Man, it was that was a lot of emotions. I would say definitely going through that. Like I said, being from Arkansas, like I said, it's not too many people that make it from there, but it's a couple. Just knowing that, my name finally did get called, the work that I have been putting in, paid off. And, it still is paying off, I'm still putting in that work. So,
Who's the best player from Arkansas who did ever come out of there?
I might have to give it to, I feel like I'm going to give it to Joe Johnson.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to give it to Joe Johnson. Unless I'm missing somebody.
He had some playoff games against the Heat back in the day, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So you're in Miami, your rookie year. And you get some opportunities early in November, but you don't join the rotation till late December, January, right? And obviously any competitor wants to play. And the fan base is calling, they want to see you play. Everybody's excited. But there must have been some value in that time where Spo was kind of focusing on development and getting you ready for the minutes. So what did you gain from those couple months there where you really weren't playing that much?
Like you said, Spo, he was he was making sure, he was checking in with me, making sure I was good. But I was like, yeah, I'm good. It's, even though I wasn't playing, I was still, behind the scenes, putting in the work, lifting, working out, just trying to, perfect my craft a little bit. So when it was time, for me to get on the court, I would have been ready.
Are you the type of person, you've always seemed very easygoing to me, but are you the type of person to ever get frustrated, or are you kind of rolling with everything?
Not really. I ain't really ever the type to get frustrated. I just like to just go out there and just hoop for real.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an archetype of NBA center. There's like the rim runner, right? I always say it's like the Clint Capella when he's playing with Harden or when he's with Trae Young. And hyper athletic guys like you can get kind of put into that box. There was obviously more than that when you were getting drafted. You had ball skills. You could shoot the three. I remember at your press conference when you came in, I asked about post-ups, and Coach Woodson was like, we didn't give him post-ups. But you did some. You would get seals and everything in the paint. And it was clear there was more to your game than just that rim running archetype. What do you want to be eventually? What kind of opportunities with your skills do you want to earn? What kind of player do you want to be?
To be honest, to answer that question, whatever player I can become. So, I mean, yeah. So whatever, like I said, because I was never really limited to, anything growing up.
Yeah.
So as long as I don't feel, limited to anything, I feel like that's when I can best, I guess, be myself and play my best. So
I always tell people, especially when I'm telling fans, like what to expect from rookies. The two toughest things to learn in the NBA as far as the learning curve are probably the one spot as a point guard, which your teammate Kaspers is going to deal with this year, and then the 5 spot on defense, just because there's so many different coverages to learn, and you're learning them at NBA speed. What did you have to learn about playing defense as a center in your rookie year?
Well, so the thing I would say about that, I would probably say that the 5 may not be the hardest to learn.
Okay.
Well, just because I feel like the more thing that's probably hard to learn is when you play like the 3 and the 4. Because you can literally be thrown at any position. Or if you like 1 through 3, you got to remember all of those. With the 5, you just got to remember one thing.
Okay.
So you don't worry about trying to, figure the 4 out or it's still kind of the same thing though. You just either, play spacing or, because half of it is really just, still playing basketball.
Yeah.
So it's, it's just using common sense and, just going out there and making the right decision.
So you never get caught up too much in trying to remember all the coverages, like you try and play instinctual ball.
I mean, not really. I would say at the beginning, of course, I had, a little issues, just trying to remember because when I first got here, like the play calls was different,
Okay.
From what I was used to. So, but once you get used to it though, it's easy that way.
Yeah.
I don't have to, I can just learn the 5 and that's it.
We obviously learned it pretty well as things went on. What would you say your toughest lesson that you had to learn as far as maybe not even on the court, but being a pro in the NBA?
Toughest lesson? I mean, I would probably say just, kind of going back to the, not playing. I'll probably say, just staying patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably say that was more of like the toughest lesson. Just knowing that, your time will come. I mean, of course it's hard, sitting there at the end of the bench, watching the games, go how they was going. But so yeah, I feel like that was the toughest lesson, just watching, just having to stay patient.
How many times did UD tell you stay ready so you don't have to get ready?
Probably every time I seen him.
Yeah. That's one of his favorite words, but it means something, right? Would you care to guess, and you're one of the most elite lob threats in the league, would you care to guess, do you have any idea how many lobs you finished in your rookie year?
I don't know. I was just catching them.
83, which is second in the league.
Wait, because didn't Durant have first?
That was going to be my next question. If you knew, he was one ahead of you, 84.
Yeah, okay.
You were the 83. So
I just need to Tyler to throw a couple more.
But he also played most of the season.
Yeah, he did.
So per minute, you were way ahead of everybody. Yeah. But to be fair, we'll give him the lob belt for 1 year, and then you can try and get it next year, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you look back 10 years, 15 years from now, and for a lot of guys, a career that long at all is an accomplishment. But you've got so much talent. And if you could kind of fast forward and then try and look back, what do you want to have achieved as a basketball player, and what do you want people to remember you as far as what you were able to do?
I mean, just, mainly consistency. Going out there competing every day. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm still working on, getting stronger, gaining some weight. Just going out there, showing what I can do. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm I'm not really, one, position type of player. I'm able to do, multiple things. So, just perfecting everything, little by little.
Yeah.
And like I said, staying consistent with it.
What's your relationship like with Bam? How has he helped you so far?
Yeah, Bam has, even, through the games. Matter of fact, he just texted with me and KJ the other day. But so he was saying that he's gonna be tuning into the summer league. He want us to, show out and then once I responded to that message, he texted and said, "Don't forget you 7 feet." So yeah, that's one of the things that he loved to say. But
Yeah.
I would say, he's been a big help. Just always, I guess, trying to help me remember that I'm 7 foot. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Some of my favorite plays last year in basketball in general were the big passing. And when you guys are catching that ball in the short roll, and then it's a lob between one of you two, that chemistry seemed to be building as the year went on, and then we might only see more of it, this year coming. Do you have a favorite play that you have on replay up here that you've ever made on the basketball court?
Like ever in life, or
Ever,
ever
not just in the NBA, like just your favorite basketball play that you've ever made?
Well, actually, I got a couple, but they all like the NBA ones.
Oh, we can go with NBA
Well,
ones
actually,
too.
no, I'm gonna go with the Orlando game.
Yeah.
The one-handed lob that I caught.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with that one. That's the one that came to my head first, so I'm gonna go with that one.
And you got that? You can remember every single thing that happened in that one?
Yeah.
Easy. All right. We like to end every podcast with a simple question, but a hard question.
Okay.
You can't name your teammates.
Okay.
But who are your 4 favorite basketball players of all time? And if you could tell us a little bit about why you like them.
The thing is, well, I never really had 4 favorite. That's the thing. I've never really had a favorite anything.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that kind of comes with being from Arkansas. We don't have an NBA team there. We have, the Arkansas college, but
Yeah. Well,
no.
Maybe if you don't have 4 favorites, but are there veterans or past players that have, inspired you with their play, or you can kind of emulate in a way?
I mean, yeah, no, of course. I would say I definitely watched, I watched KD a little bit. I watched AD. I've said that, well, and not this podcast, of course, multiple podcasts, but those are just the main 2 that I would watch. Just like watch their game.
Mm-hmm. The thing you guys have in common would be the length and the ability to shoot over the top, right?
Yeah.
So do you watch, when you're watching guys like that, are you watching their footwork and watching that level of detail and how they go about things?
The thing is, I don't even watch it, I guess, for that. I don't know. I feel like I watch the game a little different.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I watch it more of like, I'm not watching, like you said, like their footwork and stuff like that. I'm just watching like certain like things like that they do. Like that gets them open. And then it's like things that like I can like put in my game as well to I guess, try to make it happen. So.
Those are still details. And the thing all 3 of you guys have in common is that you make it look easy sometimes, right? Which is easy for people to take for granted, but I like to remind people we can't just assume it's all that easy, because you do have to put a lot of hard work in.
I mean, because it's mainly just about like flow. Like you have to have like a flow to it. And I feel like that's what I watch. I watch like the flow of like how they're moving.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. We've been very lucky to talk to you. Everybody, this is Kel'el Ware, and we are looking forward to seeing what happens in your second year coming up.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Kel'el Ware as much as I did on this episode of the After the Buzzer podcast, presented by Baptist Health, the official sports medicine provider of the Miami Heat. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube to get notifications for everything we have coming down the pipeline. Thank you for listening, and until we see you next time, take care.